Hello YouTube friends, welcome to the last homely house. I'm in party mode here because this month my channel is 7 years old, and so to coincide with that my daughter-in-law asked me to make some party things for my granddaughter's birthday, and I've got a big pile of beautiful Tula pink fabrics here in stripes and polka dots. And I'm going to make some bunting and some party bags and a few other bits and pieces. So I'm just giving everything a good iron. My daughter-in-law has drawn out what she wants me to do in my quilt planner's notebook. She's got this page here where she's drawn the bunting and the bags and the tablecloth and all of those things. So I'm following along to this little pattern here. Now I'm giving everything a good iron. And I want to talk to you about my Aliso iron. I really love this iron, and when I first saw Jenny at Missouri Style Quilt Company using this iron, I thought I have to have one of those. And if you've been used to watching my videos, you'll have seen that I use it all the time for all my quilting. And when I ordered this iron, I really wanted a pink one, because you know how in love I am with pink. But because of the electric situation in the UK, the only one I could get was this yellow one. I love how I have a personal relationship with it. It's a bit Darth Vader-y sometimes. Anyway, I was watching Tula Pink on Instagram the other day. She does Tula Tuesdays, and she was talking about how she was going to release a pink iron that was UK compatible. How amazing is that? And guess what they sent me? Let me show you. I've got my pink iron. Well, I think I have. Shall we have a look inside? Please don't feed the fish, it says here. Okay. Let's have a look. Ooh, it's very pink. I like the box, that's really cool. But don't feed the fish, guys. Here it is. I mean, could that be any pinker? And when I reached out, they very kindly sent this to me. Goodness me, that is pink. So when you watch my videos in the future, this is going to be the iron you'll see. Oh look, I love how we've got some of Tula's designs around here. Look, I like that. I've got some of that fabric somewhere. And so you think, well, this is a perfectly good iron. This yellow iron is perfectly good iron. Well, if you've been watching this channel for any length of time, you'll know that my daughter-in-law Anna has been learning how to quilt, and she's made some fantastic things. A beautiful quilt using her spoonflower fabric, and now she's kind of addicted to Liberty fabric and is making a lovely hand-pieced hexagon piece as well. So I'm going to give this iron to her, and I don't think she'll mind that she hasn't got a pink iron. Please don't feed the fish. It says it on the bottom as well. So this is the iron you're going to be seeing as I'm making this party bunting, but that's not all, because it's got a little friend. So sometimes when I'm sitting at the machine over there and I've got my ironing board set up and you just need to iron a little tiny seam, sometimes what you need is a little tiny iron. I've got a little tiny pink iron which has got the correct plugs on, both of them. We're not feeding the fish here. No, don't feed the fish. And this one is cute as anything. Oh, now that's going to be incredibly useful next to my sewing machine. So I'm going to get on now and cut this fabric and start making these party things with my pinkness here. get rid of all these bits and pieces. I don't need to read the instructions because I think it's probably exactly the same as this one. Oh, so I'm going to get going with this one now. So if you're in the UK and you've always lusted after a pink Oliso iron, you can get one now because we've got the right plug on. I'll tell you the other thing I love about this one as well as this one is just how long the lead is. It's not a really skimpy little lead, it goes for ages. So I can plug that in and go a long way with this iron, so that's brilliant. Okay, I'm going to set myself up then. I'm going to do some cutting, some stitching and some pinkness with my iron. And I'll unplug this one and give it to Anna. 3 irons on one ironing board, that's a bit weird, isn't it? Let's see if we can get, please read, I better had. Okay. So this is the body of the bag, and then the handles here. And I'm not very good at measuring. If you've been here any length of time, I just think, yeah, that's about right. But I'm making all these bags the same. So then I'm measuring each one against itself. And the cat is playing with the Oliso iron boxes. And I have to just remind her that you're not allowed to feed the fish. She doesn't care. She's just seen a box, and you know what it is with cats and boxes? She wants to get inside that one. It's probably just about the right size too. So what I'm doing here is I'm just folding in and pressing just a scant 1/4 inch on each of these thin handles. They're 2 inches wide. And then what I do with that then, with my pins, I'm just going to fold that in half like that. They're just little children's party bags. And so I'm going to fold that like so, put a couple of pins in. And because this is lovely stripy fabric, I am actually matching up the stripes so that it looks quite neat. And then I'm going to sew those handles. Now I've made bags like these many times before. They're useful for all sorts of things, and I'm fairly certain I've made them on the channel. But I will show you how I make one of these, and it's a really useful bag, and you can scale it up or down depending on what size you need it. These are just little bags for, what would you put in a party bag? Traditionally it's a little piece of cake all wrapped up, isn't it? And a toy, and you know, bits and pieces for the kids to take home. So that's what's going on here. I think these are very superior party bags. I like them a lot. Okay then, so press that end in there, and then we're going to take everything across to the machine and sew it. Okay. Oh, it's very hot. Ooh. Alrighty. Line up those purples there. And binding clips would do, but I've got pins to hand, so that's okay. Okay, let's take these to the machine. And I'll show you what I'm doing next. I've got all these ones half made as well, so we'll do quite a lot of chain piecing now. This is the perfect job for chain piecing when you're doing a multiple of things like this. And so I'm doing the handles now, and I've just ironed them in, pinned them, and I'm just going to sew down one side. And because for neatness, I'm going to sew down the other side as well. And I've got myself a Tula Pink thread bunny. I've talked about thread bunnies before. You just sew onto them like that, and it keeps your sewing moving without having lots of threads all over the place. Now I know these are really narrow, but I am going to do another stitch line just for top stitching down the other side. I just think it looks tidy. You don't need to do that though. And once more. And now, to make my life easier, I worked out on the first little bag that I made where the handle placement should be. And in the Quilt Planners notebook, on the page where we're doing this, I've made a little jig here. Now, I've ironed over the top of the short edge of the bag, and I've ironed it over again. And then I'm going to line that up with the little jig that I've made in here. So that's the length, that's the width, sorry, of the top of the bag. And then these handles are going to line up. I've made a mark here and here, and I'm going to line them up the outside edge. That's just what I've decided to do, the outside edge, and then stick a pin in there. And then the only thing you need to make sure you're not twisting the handle. And then you get the other jig line lined up with your template here. Stick a pin in that one, and the same on the other side. I'll quickly do that. It's very simple. Just line up these two sides here. It's pretty much a tiny bit wider, that one, but it'll be fine. And then line it up with the outside of the line. There, I've got my pins here. Make sure it's not twisted. Line it up with the other side. Like that. Now, the handles are facing down like that. Thank you, little notebook. And what I'm going to do with them now, lots of bits here. Can you see okay? Shall I move my beautiful new iron to one side? So what I'm going to do now is, leaving the handles facing downwards, I'm going to sew, and this is where you can trap the handle, so you need to make sure that the handle is pushed right in to the top of that fold, and you come along here and you trap the handle like that. Make sure when you take the pin out that it doesn't go skew width, because sometimes it can do that. Now, if I was doing all of these, I'd chain piece these, but I'm just going to show you now what I'm going to do. So we've sewed along the bottom of that fold there, and then I'm going to fold the handles up like so and do a top stitch line and trap those handles in that upwards position. Again, making sure that they're nice and straight. And that means that your handles are nice and secure. I mean, these are only little party bags, but if you were making something, you know, shopping bag, or, you know, something that is going to carry a lot more weight than just a couple of little party toys, then that is a really neat way of attaching a handle. So I'm going to attach the other side of the handle, and then, because I like doing them, I'm going to do French seams on these bags. It's just one extra step, and it really, really does make a beautiful finish. So I'll sew that handle there now one more time. So the handles are on there now, and in order to do the French seams, I'm just going to put the two edges together, right sides out, so wrong sides together, and I'm just going to sew, not 1/4 inch at all, very skimpy seam right next to the edge there, because these are cut accurately, so I'm going to catch both sides. Like that, and then just make sure that you match up the tops very carefully. The bottom doesn't matter, just make, because that will just fold, won't it? So make sure you line those edges up beautifully, and then sew like that. And if you can see there, I've sewn, I'll just move these, I've sewn very close to the edge there. And you don't really need to do this, but I actually cut the tiniest corner off there just to get rid of that little bit of bulk there. And then we turn this the right way round, or the wrong way round in fact. I'm going to put my scissors in there and just make sure that that's nice and open there. And then I'm going to give that just a little press. I'm just going to make sure that those edges are nice and open. Give it a little press like that. On the other side too. And just roll those edges out like that. And now it's a simple matter of just sewing down that edge, making sure that you know you've trapped that raw seam inside. Come on, it's gone. That's it. It's just struggling to go over the top there. And then we turn it the right way around now. Give it one final press. You can tidy up all these little bits of threads here. Just get that edge out there. Nice and tidy, that's better. There's the other one. So we've got two little party bags now. Lovely French seams inside, so no raw edges inside there, and nice strongly attached handles. And I'm just going to carry on now and make the rest of them in that chain piecing way. Well, it's days later now, and I'm carrying on with this bunting project and the party bags and all the bits and pieces, and I've just sewn the little flags together because I like two-sided bunting. I don't know about you, I think that bunting that's just got pinked edges or has just got raw edges, I don't think it lasts very long, and this is bunting that will come out year after year. for different people's birthdays in my son's family. So I'm just reducing the bulk at the top edge here, and then I'm going to turn them the right way round. And I've got this pencil that's I'm using to poke out the bottom so that it's nice and sharp. I mean, it's pretty good. It probably could be, that's pretty good, I'm pleased with that. So that's my flag front and back there, and I've got quite a lot of these. did I count them? I've got about 40, I think, something like that. So we're going to make 2 strings of bunting. So I'm going to poke all these out now, get these ready to press. And so if I just show you what I mean here, I just get these and I put my hand in so that I know that those bits there are nice and flat. And then we come in with this beautiful iron. So I thought of all the ways that I could attach this bunting to some string or other, and I bought this lovely bias tape in 3 different colours, and I'm just pinning it with these quilting clips onto the flags here. And in order to get a nice regular interval between the flags, I'm actually just using the card that came out of the middle of one of these bias tapes here, and just using that as my spacer. Just about the right space, I think. So I'm just folding that over like that and getting the next flag here. And then I'm going to clip that into there and sew along, catching both sides at the same time. So just a little aid there to get the right spacing. I think bunting, when I made that bunting for the Queen's Jubilee for the Tate, I think at that time there were a lot of people who said, I don't know what bunting is. What is bunting? Is it a very British thing? Because at every village fete you go to and every posh birthday party like this one's going to be, you'll always see really smart bunting. And so, I don't know, is it a very British thing? Maybe you'll be inspired to make some bunting yourself now when you see how easy it is. And so this bias binding was 5 meters long, and there's just enough at the end here for me to add a little tie. And what I'm going to do with it now is just stitch it along here. I'll just stitch this bit closed. I'm just going to make sure, doubly sure, that the flag's pushed right up to the top of the bias binding so that I catch both sides of the tape and the flag as well. So if you do make bunting for your party, tag me on Instagram. I'd love to see it. It's just Kate at the Last Homey House over on Instagram. And we also have a dedicated Pinterest page. And I've no doubt that some of these things will be appearing on there too. I get a lot of my ideas from Pinterest. We'll leave links to all of these in the description below. Let's make sure that I've caught both sides. Looks like that's better. Okay, so there's 21 flags on the green bunting and there's 21 flags on the blue bunting. So that's a good lot of party fun, I think, for my little granddaughter who lives in London. Now, in making all of this, I did have quite a lot of scraps and bits and pieces. So I want to show you what I'm doing with them, because I thought it would be a good idea to have a bag to put these in from one birthday to the next. And so I got all the scraps and bits in this box here. There's my 2 loads of bunting and my party bags are right here. And so in this box here, let's move everything to one side. There's all sorts of bits and pieces that were left over from making this, these party sets here. So in order to make a bag to put them in, I thought it might be good fun to put those all together in a scrappy way, and that's exactly what I've done. It's just here. So I just picked all of these fabric scraps and sewed them together in any which way. And there's the front and the back of the bag, so I just made a very long piece. Oh, I think it looks so colourful and jolly. And then I've made this piece here, and I'm not quite finished with this because this is going to be the handles of the bag, so I might make a bit more to go on here. Then I can cut that in half and make 2 handles. So I think I'll line this bag because there's a lot of seams on the inside and it might be quite nice if it was lined. So I'll do that and I'll show you what that bag looks like when I've finished. But for now, we've got 2 strings of bunting with 21 on each, a blue one and a green one. We've got 8 little party bags, but then there's one more thing that I'm going to make before I make the bag. So I'll show you that when I've made those as well. It's going to be quite an epic birthday party, this one, isn't it? Okay. So it's had a good press there now. And what we need to do now is just put in the party bunting, which is the blue and the green. See if they fit in. I think everything's going to fit in just fine. And the party bags. And then I'm going to make a few napkins like this. So I've made one. It's just a square of this lovely Tula pink stripe. And I'm just going to hem all the way around the outside. So I've got that one and I've got these ones here in this gorgeous colourful fabric. It's the most colourful fabric. I love it, I really do. So I'll finish the napkins, pop those in the bag as well. And then we have a tablecloth coming soon with lovely yellow binding on the tablecloth. So I'm going to make that next. That'll be the final thing. But for now, I think that this is an amazing party kit for your birthday. I really hope you are inspired to make something, one element of this, the bunting or the party bags, or maybe even just this big scrappy bag. Everyone's got scraps of fabric. You can make one just like that, I'm sure. And so for now, thank you very much indeed for watching. Thank you. I've really loved making this video for my 7th birthday for the channel The Last Homely House. Amazing to think that we've been doing this for 7 years. Some of those early videos are not so great, but I hope you're enjoying the content that I make for you now. So come back next time, because I've got something else lovely to make with you then. But for now, thank you so much to Aliso for my fabulous pink iron, which I absolutely love. Anna is going to use my yellow iron. I don't think she minds that she hasn't got a pink one, but I'm thrilled with mine. So thanks, Aliso. If you want an iron, pop into the description below and you'll see the link to Aliso. Right, napkins. Let's carry on and do those now.